Gurung shamanism describes the traditional shamanistic religion of the Gurung people of Nepal. It is influenced by Hinduism. Description: Gurung villages have their own local deities. Gurung shamanism ascribes fundamental symbolic significance to death. The rites, called Pae, are often shamanistic analogues or complements to Tibetan Buddhist rituals. The funerary rite is the central ceremony, entailing 3 days and 2 nights of rituals to send souls to the land of the ancestors. These rituals may be officiated by either Klepri, Paki, or Buddhist lamas. Among the Gurung, death involves the dissolution of bodily elements, earth, air, fire, and water. These elements are released in a series of rituals, 9 for men and 7 for women. One ritual in the freeing of souls involves a Klepri injecting the spirit of the deceased through a string into a bird, which then appears to recognize family members and otherwise act unnaturally. The bird is symbolically sacrificed with the plucking of a few feathers, received by family members, after which the bird is released. Once in the land of the ancestors, life continues much as in this world. However, the spirit is able to take other incarnations. For the land of the ancestors, spirits continue to take an interest in the surviving kinsmen, able to work good and evil in the realm of the living. According to Gurung shamanism, the dead are either cremated or buried. After the cremation or burial, the family of the deceased constructs a small shrine on a hill to offer food to the spirit, which continues to remain and may cause misfortune. Sons of the deceased observe mourning for 6 to 12 months, during which they fast from meat and alcohol. A final funerary ceremony takes place a year or more after death, for which an expensive funeral rite is performed. This rite includes an effigy of the deceased, draped in white cloth and decorated with ornaments. The death rituals close as Klepri addresses the spirit and sends it to its resting place, after which the hilltop shrine is dismantled. Further rites ensue, during which the priest recites supplications to the spirits of the 4 directions for kind treatment as the deceased makes his way to the spirit realm, advises the departing soul on its choice between reincarnation and remaining in the land of ancestors, and admonishes it to stay away from its worldly cares and not to return prematurely. Priesthood: Gurungs employ 3 categories of priesthood: Buddhist lamas, Klepri and the shaman, each following different practices. The Klepri are involved with funerary rituals and play drums and large brass cymbals. The Klepri have no sacred literature, learning all prayers and rituals by heart over several years. These sacred oral scriptures are called Paitan Lutan. The sacred language Gurung Ura is no longer understood by laity nor practitioners, and may be derived from an ancient religion. Shamans called Paki operate in Gurung communities and in tribal and Hindu communities of Nepal, being most numerous in the Modi Valley. The practice is largely in the realm of interpreting the supernatural. While the ritual language is also archaic, it is more readily understood by practitioners and laity. Practices of Paki have been influenced by Buddhist teaching, and they are often associated in various rites with lamas. They are also believed to communicate with spirits and local deities, and are often employed by persons suffering illnesses or misfortunes to draw up horoscopes. Both Paki and Klepri are called upon to exorcise possessed people, perform mortuary rites, and officiate ancestor worship. Influence of Buddhism. Centuries of cultural influence from Tibet resulted in many Gurungs gradually embracing Tibetan Buddhism over the centuries, especially the Nyingma school, and particularly among Gurungs in the Manang region. Gurungs generally believe in Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Adherents also call upon Buddhist lamas to perform infant purification, seasonal agricultural and funerary rites, as well as house blessing ceremonies. Mainstream Tibetan Buddhist lamas harbor ambivalent opinions about Gurung Dharma practices, and syncretic Gurung Dharma may be reluctant to disclose the practices to outsiders. According to the 2001 Nepal census, 69.03% of the ethnic Gurung identified as Buddhists, 28.75% as Hindus, and 0.66% as Christians.